Hello everyone and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Samantha. I talk about rescuing things and reselling them for a profit. If you're looking for some part-time, full-time, maybe just some extra cash, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video. It also helps me a lot and I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna bring at you another what sold video. It's been a few, probably months actually, since I have shared what has sold. And it just takes a lot of time to create these videos for you guys, especially the what sold ones, because I do like to put up an image to show you what sold exactly. So don't forget to hit the like button. Let me know that this kind of information you want me to put out for you, so I'm not spending my time, you know, sharing something and editing it and putting it out here if it's not what you guys want to see. Just let me know below what kind of information you want to see from me. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this. I only did Poshmark sales from 8:15 to 10:15 to 10:22, and the reason why it's just a week's worth of sales. So I figured I'd give you guys a good synopsis of how my October is going. So the first sale was a Lulu black dress. It had some like mesh trim and it was a fit and flare style. I actually got this at a bag sale and it was, the average price for everything was less than 10 cents. Next is actually a vintage fox fur jacket that sold for $30. I paid $1, but unfortunately it was over a year ago, and this is something that was completely my fault. I had it listed and then somehow I must have accidentally deleted it and forgot to relist it. Well, it got relisted, and this last time it was relisted for a couple months before it finally sold. I would probably buy it again, but I definitely would be taking better pictures than the pictures I had. Next is Cabbie, and this is actually Cabbie square tag, and you will tell the difference by the tag on the inside. It's actually big and square versus the smaller Cabbie tag that it used to be. And you want to go for the square tags, just an FYI. The smaller tags are out of date and they don't tend to sell very well. But this sold for $29, and I actually purchased this from Style Encore, which is something that I love to do. They're buy-on-the-spot stores. I will take items and go sell it to them, and then the money that they give me, I usually reinvest because there's a lot of items they can't price high. And it just so happened I hit up a clearance sale, and the Cabbie was part of the clearance sale, and it sold literally the same day. So I listed it, sold the same day. So that was a really good buy, and I made money at Style, then came home and made more money off of them. So yay! That sold for $29 again. I paid, I believe, I paid up for it. I mean, I paid $7.50, I believe. So that's more than I normally pay, but that was still a great profit and pretty quickly. Next is a Colombia pullover sweatshirt. I paid $1 at a garage sale and it sold for $20, which was surprising. I actually had a few more that sold for $15, but $20 is great. I'll take that. And then I have an Anthropologie, I'm probably gonna butcher this, Cartonniere polka dot blazer, and this actually was from Style Encore as well, and I paid $11 for it. It sold the same day for $25. Next is a G-net. This is a bad buy. This was a bad buy. It was new with tags. I figured, what the heck, I'll buy it. I bought it for $1, and I will admit that just because it's new with tags doesn't mean you should buy it, and that's for sure. But it sold for $8, whatever. At least I sold it. Next was a pair of women's Nokoma vintage snakeskin boots. These were actually purchased at an estate sale, and I paid, what was it, $20 for them, and they sold for $65. So that was a great flip right there. Again, way more than I normally pay, but it was an estate sale, and it was her mother's, so it was kind of like that sob story, and I love the boots, but they sold fairly quickly. All right, next is a huge sale for me. I'm not sure if you guys are into the home market yet on Poshmark, but it is amazing. Most of my sales come from the home market now, at least half. But these were actually rare tulip stained slag bent glass hanging pendant lamps. And I paid $20 each, so $60 total at an estate sale in Chicago. And they sold for $300. So that was an amazing flip. had to ship it separately, so I did have to charge a little bit extra for the shipping, but I shipped them two separately, not two. I shipped two together and then one separately because I didn't want to ship all three together. I was just super worried because they were very rare. Next is a bundle. I threw together this bundle. I have a few videos in the past that talk about how to throw together a bundle, so make sure to check out those videos. But basically, I made the bundle for them because they had liked 3 items in my closet, and it was 3 items that were stale, 3 items that had been listed for months, and 3 items I was just ready to get the heck out of my closet. So I threw it together, and I submitted a super low offer of $30, so it made them 10, 10, and 10, and then they had to do the shipping and stuff. So my net profit was $24, which was okay. I honestly can't tell you what I paid per item, but I do know 2 of them I had paid $1 at Goodwill's dollar sale. And then next was a Reebok bra. I got that at the Bins in Nashville, actually, over in July when I was on my road trip. So I paid maybe 25 cents for it, if that, and it sold for $8. I have a lion figure paperweight desk decor. This sold for $9, and I had $2 invested into that. Next is a Talbot's cable knit, like cardigan sweater. The funniest thing too is I could not find it for the longest. And I have over 1,000 inventory, so I had to go through like 40 different totes trying to find this. And I guess it was because I was trying to find it so hard that I could not find it because it was literally right in front of my face. And when I found it, like right before I was going to contact them, like, I'm sorry, I can't find it. Do you want to cancel? You know, I found it. So I was like, oh, thank God. So I found that. And it sold for $35. I honestly can't tell you what I paid for it. I'm pretty sure it was $1 at a Goodwill dollar sale, but I'm not for sure on that. I sold another Colombia pullover evaporation. And this one I again paid $1 at the garage sales, and it sold for $10. I sold a Molson Vintage Canadian Beer mirror sign. This was from the estate sales in Chicago also, and I only paid $2.50 for that sign, and it sold for $30. I sold a Tory Burch button-down striped blouse for $20, and I ended up paying $2.50 for that one. I'm pretty sure this is pronounced Alex, but it may just be Alyx. And it was just a blouse. This was free, so honestly it was like whatever if it sold or didn't sell. And I have a lot of room where I'm at, and it's a really small town, so I don't pay a lot for the space that I have. So if you have smaller space, you can't really get as much inventory and keep it. You might have to sell it quicker than I do. But this sold for $10, and again, I got it for free. It'd probably been listed for 3 months. But again, it was like this big. So once you put it in the bag and stuff, you threw it in the tote, it was so tiny, it really didn't matter. I just wanted to get it gone, though. All right, next is a fox fur vintage Olympia limited edition coat. This was gorgeous. I got this from Chicago also, and I paid $7.95 for it, and it sold for $50. I sold an Adidas beanie. It sold for $12, and I only paid 50 cents at a garage sale, and I was actually on vacation again for this one. It was a short trip to Santa Claus, Indiana, Holiday World, and it was like the weekend trip, and on the way back, I had to hit up some garage sales because in Indiana, man, they had just garage sale after garage sale, even on a Sunday, so I was like, oh, I must stop here, and of course, I stopped and found some stuff I could flip. Next is a teapot. This is a vintage wooden handle, I think it's Danielle or Denali collection, and it sold for $12. I only paid $1.75 for that. And then a Nordstrom new with tags dress. This one again was purchased on vacation to Florida, which was back in July also, from the Bins in Tennessee. So I got it for less than $1, and it sold for $19. Neiman Marcus blue cashmere blend sweater. It was a 2-piece sweater. cardigan, and it sold for $25. I can't remember where I got it, so that is something that I've had for a long time as well. I was happy to see it go, that's for sure. And then another bundle that I threw together for this person, and again, it was items. It was a Longaberger basket and then 2 Longaberger charms, and I've had those for a few months now because I haven't been to garage sales in like 2 months, so it's at least been 2 months that I've had these items, so I was ready to see it go. I bundled all 3 items, and I shot an offer for $20, and the person gladly accepted. And then we have a Free People soft leather wallet clutch. A funny story about this one, it was actually purchased from a vendor event. I set up at a vendor event, and of course, I walked around. I shouldn't have. I walked around and I checked out everybody's station, and one station had fossils and Coach and, you know, vintage this, vintage that. I was like, oh my gosh, I know I can buy that and flip it. So, of course, I spent most of my earnings that day buying stuff to flip because that's what I do. But this was a Free People soft leather wallet, and it sold for $30. I paid $7 for it. And a Wilson's vintage leather laptop computer bag. Love picking up vintage leather computer bags. It really doesn't matter the brand name, just make sure the condition is good and, you know, it don't got a funk smell to it or anything. But those I pop off fast, and for a pretty good return of investment on that. It sold for $35 and I paid $1.99. And my daughter, she's like, why are you picking that up the other day at the Goodwill? And I'm like, because this is leather. This is vintage, and it's Wilson's leather, which is a good quality bag. And lo and behold, it sold within 2 days, full asking price of $35, and I got a 5-star rating on it, so that was awesome. Next is a Susan, I want to say Monaco deep V fitted dress. It sold for $16. I paid 69 cents on a 69-cent Saturday Salvation Army trip to Chicago. And I live 3 hours south of Chicago. I travel typically for all my inventory because it's like really hard in my area to find anything that is of value to flip. Unless it's hard goods and stuff like that. Alright, I have a vintage Eagle Creek fanny pack. This sold for $9. I got it at the bins, so it was so light, I maybe paid $0.25 for it. And it sold for $9. Alright, a red rustic farm house decor like sign, and it had the push pins and everything to it. It sold for $12, and I only have $1 invested into that. Next is a Michael Kors vintage brown leather shoulder bag, and I would say this was a bad buy, and I would only say this because the style, it was a super old style, and although I got it at the bins, Michael Kors, you shouldn't always pick it up. I had this purse for almost 2 years trying to sell it, and I'm like, I can't believe it's not selling. Like, it's Michael Kors. So I sold it for $15. I was like, whatever. They sent an offer. I'll gladly accept that. Again, paid less than 50 cents for it. Alright, a burgundy knit shawl bikini cover, and this sold for $12. I have less than $1 invested because it was picked up from the bins, and it wasn't very heavy at all. And then we see, let's see, Pyrex, 2 Pyrex coffee mugs, or whatever kind of hot mugs you want to drink out of it. And I paid 50 cents each, and they sold for $15 for the pair. And then 2 Fenton white milk glass decor things, and they sold for $35. I, again, put the bundle together for that person. I priced each of the milk glasses alone high each, so when I threw together the bundle for her, I feel like the price just kind of was like, oh, wow, that's a great deal. And it was. I mean, $35 for 2 of the pieces was a really good deal. But I priced things high individually just because it's if you're going to buy a single item, I'd rather make a little more than, you know, if it's a bundle, okay, I will take off a lot more for you guys. So, put the bundle together. She was happy. She bought it almost immediately. A Budweiser graphic t-shirt, it sold for $14. I paid 50 cents for it. And then a Fossil bracelet, just like adjustable leather bracelet, it sold for $13 and I paid $1 for it. And that makes a total of 983 sales from 9/15 to, what I say, 9/22. So that was a great week. I mean, the outlier there is obviously the 3 hanging lamps, because that was, you know, $300 right there. But I still make pretty big sales, you know, at least once a month. I sell something that's really high dollar. And that's why I've really diversified myself in doing home goods and electronics now, not just clothing, because before I was doing just clothing because it was easy. Hard goods is a lot harder. You know, you got to figure out how you're going to ship it. You got to figure out how you're going to pack it. You got to figure out how you're going to store it, you know, clean it, how you're going to test it if it's an electronic piece. Is it a computer? Do you need to print something and check and see if it prints, you know? There's a lot that goes into this reselling, but if you slowly add knowledge each and every single day, like watching a What Sold video, you know, you just did, you're going to learn something new from me that, you know, you didn't know. And drop a comment below. I'm sure I'm going to learn something from you. I appreciate all of you guys. And as always, have an amazing day, whether it be morning, night, whatever it is. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you like short videos each and every day, I do put out on Instagram pretty much every single day. Tips and tricks on family, you know, health, gardening, not just reselling, but overall life. So go follow me over there, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a blessed day.